Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spitballing. I'm Matt Taylor here with my good buddy
Kyle Amundsen.
How you doing, Kyle?
I'm great.
Good. It's been a bit since we got together.
Man, it's been like a month.
Yeah, it was still nice out then.
Yeah.
We were sitting on your porch and shit.
We were on the patio. Yeah, I was going to say patio, but yeah, we were on the porch.
Now we got to call it the porch.
Now the porch is fucking cold.
Yeah. That sucks. But we're at the shop today, which is nice because we have the scoot in the background that's been kind of the talk of the town lately.
Yeah, the legend of Scoot.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard the story yet, Rob and Aaron Lewis's son, Max Lewis, Aaron found this scooter on Facebook, Marketplace or whatever, and it was pretty fucked up. It had been run over, and but it was cheap and it ran. So she went out and got it, and then I decided I was going to do a little Mad Maxing to it. So spent the last couple of months just basically, fucking cutting that thing apart and rewiring it and doing all sorts of crazy shit to it, and I finally got it to the point where I could take it for a little test drive. I had to get a wheelbarrow tire. The biggest challenge was finding a front tire for it because the front tire was fucking bent, and I just couldn't fix it, and I could not find a front tire anywhere. And Max had ordered a couple online, and they didn't work, and I was like, God damn it! And I was at Fleet Farm, and I was like, God damn, that's the right size tire. It's for a wheelbarrow. But fuck it. So I bought it and stuck it on there. And so I was able to take it for a test drive. And I got done.
Now we're looking for a tire for a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Well, actually, it kind of comes into the play in the story. So I went for a test drive, filled it up with gas, and was running good. And I decided to park it outside of my shop for a minute. Because I had a bunch of shit all over the floor, all this wiring I had been doing and everything. So I was going to clean up a little bit before I was able to bring it back in here. And I go out to get the fucking thing 10 minutes later, and it was gone.
Rustlers.
Yeah. Scooter rustlers, sons of bitches. And
this was on
it was like a Friday at like 6:00. It wasn't even, it was getting dark. It wasn't even dark out yet. And I was like, God damn it. So I jumped in my Rover and started driving around looking for him, which was probably good. I didn't find him at that moment because I was a little heated. And then I came back and called the police and blah 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 blah. But there's this character downtown. His name is Steve, and he's just kind of like I don't know. He's always like plowing everybody out and whatever. And he's a very interesting character. So he finds out about it and he starts tracking it. And he literally finds the fucking tracks for it. So apparently whoever took it, wheeled it down the road, and down the road here there's like a big hill, and then it comes up the other side to go up by the train yard. And he had literally taken it down that hill and up the other side, and Steve, with a fucking giant flashlight now, found the tracks, which were very distinct because they were wheelbarrow tracks, which were straight lines, and then the back tracks had whatever. So anyway, somebody took it, and we didn't find it, and I was really stressed out about it. And most of that's just, actually, honestly, I was fucking super bummed out because I'd put a lot of work into it. Plus, Max hadn't even got to take it for a fucking test drive yet. I just drove it once, and I was super excited. I was actually going to call him right before I went to bring it back in here to have him come over and take it for a test drive, and it was gone. So I put a post out on Facebook. And, I don't know if any of you guys read that, but I think everybody in the fucking tri-state area did because it was shared.
We shared the shit out of that.
Man, it's pretty crazy, the Facebook community, how many eyeballs get put on something like that.
Yeah.
Because there was something like 160 shares on that first post. And, I didn't even know who some of those people were that shared it.
That's how that shit works, man.
Yeah. So if you share it, then somebody who knows you but doesn't know me shares it. It's just crazy. It just goes all over the place. So everybody in town is looking for this thing.
The kids call it viral.
Yeah, viral. Crowd.
I just learned that.
Yeah. So everybody's looking for this thing, and nobody, haven't been seeing it. And it's real distinct. I mean, you couldn't possibly miss it.
They shared it on Facebook. I don't know if they were actually looking for it.
Well, if they saw it drive by.
Yeah.
But then,
which funny story.
lo and behold, so it was the next day, Saturday. What happened?
So I'm like unloading some shit out of my car, which
It's pretty much your
I'm
full-time
always
job
am.
these days.
And it's kind of dark out. It's getting dark out, and I hear this fucking god awful fuck. I hear the thunder of American steel. Okay,
50 cc's.
maybe not American steel. Maybe Korean steel. Maybe
I'm sure it's
Chinese steel or
Korean.
something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It needs some muffler work.
It's loud as shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I see this little pissant punk driving down the fucking street with no headlight on this noisy ass scooter that looked a little familiar. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But I wanted to be sure. So this was Saturday night, yeah. So I called the bar.
Yeah, I was working at 9th Street.
And Aaron answered, and I'm like, is that thing loud as fuck? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, no headlight? She's like, headlight burnt out. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I called the cops. And I think they thought I was crazy because I was super excited.
Yeah.
Probably not making much sense at the time. I'm like, motherfucker, get him. They're like, sir. But anyway. So anyway, then I go back outside. And eventually, I hear the I've got Gordy and I've got Galicity, which is Gordy and Felicity. His girlfriend.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
I Beneford their names.
Yeah.
And I've got them watching the baby, so I can be out listening.
You're like ear to the tracks.
Yeah. Lo and behold, the motherfucker comes back by. Now, the smart thing to do would have definitely been to hop in the car and follow him.
Yeah.
So what I did was, I chased him down the street.
You've been working on your cardio. That was funny.
I must have chased him about 6 feet.
and then had a small cardiac.
He did hit the gas.
event.
I think he was pretty scared. Like I said, he was a tiny little fella.
This thing goes at like it. You know, I haven't done any of the engine work yet. Haven't had it tuned or anything like that. So it goes at least 15 miles an hour,
Which is pretty fast. if you're fucking 280 pounds.
I can imagine just this kid shitting his pants as this lumbering beast comes after
And
him.
what makes me mad is, like, I could have taken that kid off there. You know, like, I could have just got an angle on him and fucking smoked him right off that thing. But I really thought he was going to stop. Because I'm like, you know, I'm a big old guy. You know, I'm probably scared. You know, this kid's probably scared of me.
You would think.
And I'm like, he's probably going to stop when I yell at him. I use my dad voice. That didn't work. I should have taken that angle on him and just fucking tackled him and the fucking machine. But I was like,
I'm really glad you didn't do that.
no, that would have, you know, what if I would have fucked that kid up? That would have been horrible. Like, I would still be, like, I wouldn't even have gone to my first court date for that, except for the one to get out of jail on Monday, you know?
Right.
And because that's how that shit works. So everybody, that's, you know, like, every time somebody posts something on Facebook, like if something happens to them, everybody's like, oh, if it fucking would have been me, you know what I would have done? Shut up, pussy.
Yeah,
Like,
you would have went to jail.
Yeah, that's a weak moment. You do something stupid, but you wouldn't have really done that shit. Like, so shut up. Like, I see that shit all the time, and I'm like, yeah. Sure, you would have killed her. I know you would have got him. Mm-hmm. But
So the 13-year-old kid outruns you.
yes,
And
so he got scared, and also he was going downhill.
yeah, right.
But he turns off and shit, and the cops do show up, and to their credit, they fucking drove all over the neighborhood, shining their lights around and shit like that.
Yeah,
and
I'd say too, the night that I did when I called the cops and they showed up, man, they were great. Like, they actually followed the tracks down the thing and everything, and they were all over the place. So
yeah,
kudos.
I haven't seen cops swarm like that since back in the day when we were handing out free ass whoopings
And that was
like downtown Brainerd.
That was even before I shaved into this glorious cop stash.
Yes.
So I mean, that was pre-cop stash, and they were still like really, really good. Yeah. Now I can't even imagine. They probably get the SWAT team out if they saw me.
They get out of the car and they're like, they see that mustache and they're like, dude,
what up, bro? What do you carry? So
was he black? Please tell me he was black.
They would not say that.
No,
they were really good. So then you failed in your duty
miserably.
And then you came down to the bar. And
I told you about it.
You were all huffing and puffing. and then he.
Then I come down to the bar and you know, like I don't like a loud noisy bar anymore unless I'm all fucking
all jazzed up.
Yeah. But I, you know, it's not my thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go down to there. I'm going to go down there and blah, blah, blah. Which is something I think about every Saturday.
Yeah.
It happens like once a month.
Yeah.
But, and then I'm like, oh fuck. It's the Saturday before Halloween. It's going to be busy as shit in there. And it was.
Was it busy? I couldn't actually remember, but
yeah, it was.
It's been busy lately though. I mean, it's the season. Like,
and I saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people that I knew and shit like that. That was cool. Which was nice. I wasn't there for very long. What, I like stayed for two beers. I don't think I paid my tab.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm a piece of shit. But Matt owed me those beers because I was so thirsty from chasing that kid 6 feet. He had to replenish the calories and shit that I burned.
So that was pretty exciting. And then the very next day.
Yeah, the next morning.
Yeah. Meta is sitting at Caribou Coffee.
Which Meta's like, we're messaging back and forth. She's like, oh, so you saw that kid last night? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. And she's like, I'm going to get that motherfucker. And we're like, fuck yeah, we're going to get him.
And then lo and behold, she's sitting there at Caribou Coffee and the little shit whizzes by on the scooter. Now, Meta can run pretty fast, but she smartly got into her car and
which was a good move.
Tried to run him down. It's actually a short video of it, which we're not going to post because it may
be incriminating.
It was very incriminating.
She might be a good runner, but she's better at crazy. So she tries to run him down.
She was screaming at him to stop, and he flipped her the bird and gave it the gas.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and then that
was his. And I'm surprised he got away as healthy as he did.
She's in the car with her daughter, and she's just. Big old Cadillac. She's right up on him. And
I'm surprised she didn't have her like driving. Meta's like hanging out the window, like ready to jump.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. So she ends up jumping out, grabbing the kid, and then he starts crying. And then maybe she realized that she ought not to throttle him because there might be consequences.
Yeah, somebody's child. Oh.
So he runs off and then she pushed it to Logan's house. So I was able to get it back.
No shit, like 5 minutes, like maybe not that long. Just like the next message. 1 minute, she's like, "I'm gonna get that motherfucker." Next message, "I got that motherfucker. I'm pushing this thing back. I'm pushing it over to Logan's right now." And I'm like, "God damn!" Like straight up neighborhood superhero.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I ended up calling the police and telling them that we recovered it and that I didn't want to press any charges and I don't know who this kid is and I don't want to know and whatever. And then I would start, but like I said, my feelings were kind of hurt that somebody took it. But then I was like, man, I would have kiped that fucking thing.
Dude, we so would have stole that shit when we were teenagers.
I would have wrote it like I stole it.
In a fucking minute.
Because I stole it.
Yep.
And I was pretty impressed with the little fucker's ingenuity. He hotwired it together because the key wasn't in it, which little asshole.
And the balls on that little motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
he probably needs a scooter to get around because of his big, huge fucking balls.
Yeah.
That little shit.
Pretty balls.
Like fucking I just had a guy chase me yesterday, and now this morning I'm out fucking driving around the neighborhood.
And but he took the ignition switch and pulled the fucking wires out of the ignition switch, which was super rude because you can't like put it back together. Then I had to like get a whole new ignition switch. It pissed me off. But he wired it all together and then he was jumping the ignition coil to get it started, and totally fucked up all of the wiring, burnt up a bunch of wiring, and so I ended up having to like, I mean, you know,
that's the thing about free bikes.
Yep. Yeah, it was, and then I mean, in the end, you know, got to understand how it worked a little better, and I'm not real upset about it. And I've had nothing but fun and enjoyment working on it. So in the end, I won, but it was it was pretty cool. So thanks, Meta, for chasing a 13-year-old kid down and not killing him.
Dope.
Yeah. So I have a little video of Max's first test drive. I think I'll throw on the end of this. And
right on.
Yeah, I'll show you some pictures and give you a little video tour of the Scoot at the end. But that was the big news. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So what else you got brewing in your life?
Man, I got out of Facebook jail like on the...
You did you?
Yeah, I did. On the 20th of October, which was coincidentally my anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So the timing was good. I am now back in Facebook jail.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Yeah. So that was, you know, and you know how normally I'm cool with it, whatever. Like I did something stupid. This time I'm kind of mad.
Which one was it? Was it the post about the minimalist Christmas tree that looked like a butt plug?
No,
because that was great.
Not the butt plug one.
Actually, that post was really good though, because you said, because you wrote the part, but BUTT,
yeah.
Was it?
Oh, they did that.
Oh, that was them.
Yeah, that was
I thought that was you. I thought it.
No, that sounded like me though.
Yeah,
I thought that when I wrote it.
Clever.
But yeah, so no, it wasn't any of my posts. It was a comment in a secret and private, like invitation only group that I belong to.
No way.
Yeah.
They can like hit you for that.
They scour the fucking whole of Facebook for that. And this, you know, we have like in that site, this particular group, we've got admins and moderators and shit, you know, like it doesn't like we don't need fucking Facebook's heavy-handed fucking interference for that shit. Fuck you, Zuckerberg. And in case you watch this. No, but yeah, and I was and of all things, somebody it was a post about the whole Let's Go Brandon thing, you know.
I'm not sure what that is.
Good. But and I'm like, listen, don't fucking get all worked up about that shit, and don't report people for stupid shit like that, you know, like and what I was telling them is I was telling some people, like, do not like bite if fucking like if you bite when some Trumper tries to fucking like get you riled up, you know, like then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you know,
and you've never done that,
right? You're an idiot and a whiny pussy. You know, well, I like if something bothers me, then at least I come correct. You know, like I'll make it funny or something. You know.
Oh, okay.
But this is like, but report somebody.
You
know,
I hear what you're saying. You're saying don't report somebody.
Yeah, don't
just talk shit.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
And which you can't say anymore. You're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently, you're also not supposed to call people whiny pussies.
Huh?
Because that's bullying.
Weird.
But I don't give a fuck. So anyway, you're not supposed to say pussy anyway. I mean, you're not supposed to call people a pussy. Which is fucked up for me because, like, whatever, you know, like, you know that poem, and the guy's name escapes me, but first they came for the intellectuals, and, you know, blah blah blah, all that, and I was thinking about like doing that,
yeah,
except putting in like all these words and have you like beep out that word or something.
Yeah, it's like a real thing.
And then yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to a friend about it, and she was like, "Yeah, you can't say pussy anymore either. You can't call people pussies because it's, you know, it's rude." And I'm like,
but what if
it was like because it was like from the feminist perspective.
But what if you're trying to? What if you're saying that you're like really like moist? Can you do it then?
Right.
Or what if you're like saying that you're really like elastic? Elastistic.
The part that
you're
fucks
very
me
stretchy.
up is I'm not sure. Like, if you call somebody a pussy, and you know, if you're trying to call somebody a wimp by calling them a pussy, now where did that come from? Are we talking about the vagina, or are we talking about like a kitten? Because one of those things is harder to kill. Now, and I mean, like, I like to think that I've abused both in my day, which is weird. But I've only actually killed one, as far as you know.
Vagina?
You know, of the kitten or a vagina. You know, like, so which one did you kill? Like, well, you know, one of those things is tougher and harder to kill than the other, believe it or not. So I'm not sure, like, which, you know, like, what am I calling somebody when I call them a pussy?
Yeah, they can take a pound in and keep on ticking.
You know, like, yeah, like one of those things is tough and awesome. And the other one is vagina. No, but so like when you call somebody a pussy, what are you saying? Like, I guess I never really gave it any thought, which is maybe like another reason that people should leave me the fuck alone about it. You know, because like if you think about it, like, are they more like a kitten if they're a wimp, or are they more like a vagina, which babies come out of? And you know, yeah, I don't know. So like, and just the fact, you know, in fact, leave me the fuck alone anyway. Just leave me the fuck alone. Let me say what I want. I don't say anything too fucking mean. And besides, who the fuck is out there like, did you hear that? I'm so offended. He called him a pussy. He called him a whiny pussy. Now you're offended because you're a fucking whiny pussy. God fucking damn it. That shit's so aggravating. And you can't say, okay, I can't say this, I can't say that. Okay, those were ugly words. Those were ugly fucking words, and I agree with you. And I'm, you know, I was, you know, I'm glad to be rid of them. Fuck those words. But pussy, really? Are you fucking real? And then you're not supposed to say stupid. Stupid. They're trying to lump stupid in there too. Are you? No fucking way. What are you like? What are we going to be left with when it's all fucking said and done? You know,
retarded. I mean, we can still say that.
We can't say retarded.
Oh, bullshit. We totally can.
Well, see, that's kind of fucking bullshit too, because like like a lot of people, I've gotten bitched at for using it in its proper fucking context.
Like fire.
You're like it retarded the development of something.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, settle the fuck down, because that's what it means, you ignorant cunt. Oh
shit.
But yeah, there's a lot of shit that I'm not supposed to say, but we're not gonna fucking do that.
So you didn't you post the one with the coffee cup that said "unt"?
Yeah.
And then with the coffee thing, you didn't bitch about that?
No.
That's fine. You can
look at the shit. Like, I've posted, like, just over the last almost month, like, I have posted some shit, you know, and people are like, "Oh, you're gonna get banned for that one." Nope.
You must be
a comment in a secret fucking private group where we already got fucking moderators and shit.
And the group is like a talk shit group anyway.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Like, I get good shit. I get work done in there. It's a group for like liberals, which, you know, I've talked about this before. I don't identify as a liberal necessarily. I mean, unless whatever. I mostly side with liberals and shit. I like to think of myself as a progressive, mostly because there's so many whiny pussies. I would have been fucking happy to be a liberal. There's nothing wrong with being a liberal. It's not because, you know, but God, there's just so many of them that I don't like.
Yeah, I get really tired of the language thing, you know, and it's a tough one.
Really?
It's a tough one for me because I want to be inclusive. You know, in my heart, I want to be inclusive, but I also like language, and I like the way words sound. Man, I like the word cunt, and I like to use it, and I don't know. I think that there is something to be said about they came for, you know, the intellectuals, and we were like, well, you know,
because I wasn't an intellectual.
Pussies.
You know,
wait, no, that's not right. That's not how it goes. They came for the intellectuals, and I wasn't an intellectual. Yes, yeah. And I think there is something to be said about like limiting our language. I mean, did you ever read fucking 1984? You know. Did you ever read 1984?
No.
Shit. I asked that question like it was a given, and then I realized there was a blank stare on your face.
And I treated it like it was rhetorical. You know what? It's weird that I've stayed away from it too, because I feel like
it's not. I
feel like nothing is going to be a surprise because it's referenced so fucking often.
It's not a great book. I mean, like it's got a great point. You know, George Orwell was not an awesome writer.
And see, because I already know the point and it's referenced so often.
Yeah, you don't really. I feel like I've already. You don't need to read the fucking book. Yeah. But in the book,
it's probably free on Audible.
I'm sure George Orwell. is making the point that like the government is limiting your language, because if you don't have a language for revolt, then you can't do it, right? That's the idea of the book. And there's like mind police and all of this kind of shit. And and it was written in 1948, and it's called 1984. I think I'm preaching to the choir because I think most people have read it. But I mean, that's a fucking valid point, you know?
Yeah. Except, and then you get into that whole, like, the equivalency, the fucking comparison that I hate to make, because like in this day and age, everything that you don't like is Hitler. And anytime you don't get to do exactly what, like everything that you want, they're the Nazis.
Yep.
So like, I like to stay away from that, but which also, but in this instance, I think it would make it funnier, because, like just the writing it, I was thinking about all the different ways I would write it, like having, like I said, having you like beep out like certain words, then, like, because I wasn't a beep, and then they came from my pussy. But goddamn, and then I think about all the, like all the NRA slogans that I've enjoyed attaching to other stuff over the years. Like that, you can have my gun when they pry it from my cold dead hand.
Yeah.
Like, you can have my pussy when you pry my cold dead hand. Yeah, fuck. But, yeah. So back in Facebook jail and fucking, like for 30 fucking days, suck my dick. And
can't say that anymore.
Right? Suck your own dick. Yeah, okay.
I can't do that.
Yeah. In a perfect world. Mr. Canseco.
What do you think I am, a pussy?
My readers would like to know.
Yeah.
But fucking, yeah, man. So now I can't post anything. So now Alonzo has to pick up all the slack.
So I'm curious about that. So, they haven't caught on that you are also Alonzo? Or
I don't know what you're talking about, Matt.
Exactly.
My twin brother Alonzo,
who likes to refer to Kyle in the third person.
No, it would be the third person if I was actually referring to myself, but Alonzo is a separate entity. He is my identical twin brother. Separated at birth.
Congenital.
But no, so I've got the Alonzo account, and it's great. I love referring to myself in the third person. Who doesn't?
Right.
You know who does? Kyle Amundsen likes to refer to himself in the
Bob Dole. Do you remember? Probably an old reference. Nobody even remembers who Bob Dole is. But God, I fucking loved Bob Dole because Bob Dole referred to Bob Dole as Bob Dole, and it was so fucking funny to watch. Yeah.
That was when Saturday Night Live was really good.
Yeah, that was when Saturday Night, and it was also when you had a Republican candidate that, Bob Dole was fine as a human. He was not fucking crazy, and he also had no chance of winning. So, those were the good old days.
Yeah. Yep. Before that fucking party turned into such a goddamn.
The Republican Party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I remember being, just mortified that Bush won.
Yeah.
And now being like, oh, God, give me Bush.
Yeah.
Give me
He
Bush.
wasn't shit.
But, I mean, I don't know.
I shouldn't say he wasn't shit. I mean,
I'm so disillusioned with the Democratic Party right now.
There's the whole invading Iraq after 9/11.
Yeah. I get it. Right. Ugh. Right. I wasn't saying
I was saying he wasn't shit, and then I was like, wait, that wasn't.
No.
He was actually.
But he was
horrible
sane.
War criminal and shit. But
sane human being. Ish. Sane-ish. I've been so disillusioned with the Democratic Party though. But now that I really don't I don't know. I mean, this Afghanistan thing has just been horrific, and I can't even talk about it anymore because I get so goddamn upset. And
how the fuck did we not get Bernie?
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's one thing, like fucking, just because we got out and voted for fucking, for Biden, shit like that, all those cousin fuckers think that we're triggered and shit every time they talk shit about him. And I'm like, We're not a fucking weird little cult where they fucking worship the guy and shit. Fuck you and your fucking MAGA hats and your Trump signs and shit. You know, like you're not fucking triggering anybody.
Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot. The fucking piece of, the shitbag we've got now is a million times better than the shitbag you voted for. So suck it.
Yeah, and I mean we're not. I mean I don't know how many Democrats or liberals voted for Joe Biden. They voted against
Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, and I certainly feel that way. But God damn it, I don't know. Did you see where where Biden was falling asleep at the whatever the G6?
I voted for chlamydia over herpes.
Yes. One of them is curable.
Yeah.
And the other one lasts forever.
Yeah.
Well, certainly Joe Biden's not going to last forever. We know that. But no, what was the summit they just had? The G36 or whatever, the climate summit. And they're talking about, this is the most important issue to face the world, blah, 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 blah. And Biden is sitting there and he is fucking falling asleep. And it's like, oh no. Oh no, I just saw that on last week tonight. That vote killed me. Oh my God, we're fucked. We're so fucked.
Well, I'll tell you what. If somebody would have let Donald Trump sleep through some shit, at least that motherfucker had too much energy,
Yeah.
I mean, it was devoted, 100% of it was devoted to fucking stupid. But,
Well, I mean, yeah.
I shouldn't say that. He was squeezing porn stars and shit. Like, he wasn't, like, there were some cool things about him, but.
Well, yeah, you knew he was on some amphetamines when he started, like, searching for agates at the White House, in the White House, driveway. Because the White House driveway is dirt. We were talking the other day when I was over at your house and trying to put a door in, which
turned out beautifully.
Did turn out beautiful, but god damn, putting doors in is a pain in the ass because they're never, it's not hard to hang a door like that, like is already square, but when you're trying to put a door into like a spot that's been up for a while, it's a real bitch. But anyway, I still enjoy myself. But we were talking about Alec Baldwin and that tragedy.
Yeah.
And I don't know that, it was weird because I didn't hear about it because I don't really listen to the news.
You don't consume much media?
Not really. And even like my Facebook, diet is, I really just look at my notifications and then like, what are people saying about my shit? And then I don't really look at other stuff. So I'm really bad. So I don't know.
Which is what I should do. It sounds like a good way to stay out of trouble.
Well, like a week went by and I was listening to NPR, because my jawbones were dead, and so I couldn't listen to whatever podcast I was listening to. And I turned NPR on, and I found out that fucking Alec Baldwin accidentally, on purpose, accidentally shot his co-star, and I really bummed me out. I mean, like, I was like, fuck, because what a horrible thing to happen to somebody,
Yeah, and when something, and especially a guy that's like well liked, like Alec Baldwin. I mean, well liked by normal fucking people. The cultists fucking hate him, because he fucking played Trump on Saturday Night Live, and he happens to be a fucking liberal. But how the fuck Alec Baldwin is fucking awesome. Man, he's always been awesome.
Yeah, but he was a amazing Donald Trump. I mean, truly like the best.
Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
No.
God damn, his character on there is fucking.
It's really weird.
He's funny.
It's really weird that I didn't, because I love Tina Fey, and like I loved her on Saturday Night Live. I loved her when she was playing what's the politician she was?
Did she play? Did they let her play Palin?
Palin, yeah. She was Sarah Palin, yeah. And so I loved her.
I only remember as Lisa Ann.
As Lisa,
the porn star.
The porn star. Yeah. You remind me. So she did Waylon Palin.
Nailin' Palin.
Okay, yeah. Yes. I didn't see it, by the way. That's all, Kyle. Regardless of whether or not I have a porn stash, does not mean that I am a consumer. But she, I loved her. I loved Alec Baldwin, and I never watched 30 Rock. And a lot of people said I'd love it, and I've tried it, but I can't get into it. I think it's like a little dated now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So it's hard to go back. But anyway, I was feeling really shitty about Alec Baldwin. And then my sister put a post on Facebook about it, and I said something to the extent of, what I'd like to say, and then I put in quotation marks, is that's what that motherfucker gets for making fun of our commander in chief, end quotes. And I'm like, but unfortunately, satire is a language that's no longer spoken. And I thought that was kind of funny. And then Kyle said, this is cracked me up. Kyle said, well, it's not like, well, actually, I cracked me up. Kyle said, well, it's not like anybody's handing Donald Trump a gun. And I was like, I mean, yeah, because his hands are so small. What could he shoot, like a .22 Derringer? I thought that was fucking funny. Then we decided we could no longer talk, or else,
yes,
unless there was a microphone in front of us.
Talking is the enemy.
All of our good shit gets cast before swine.
And it's not like we remember shit, so.
No, I actually wrote that down.
Nice. Until we have like pocket stenographers or something, because we always say shit, and I'm like, oh, I got to remember that, and I'm like, I know I'm not going to get my phone out and write that down. Yeah. So and then I like a guy following me around with a fucking typewriter or some shit, like fucking that would probably get annoying.
A stenographer, yeah, like the little taking the little shorthand.
Although I am a fan of write that down. I used that for a good long while. I would say that shit. Write that down.
To nobody?
Yeah. No, I mean to different people,
Yeah.
Never to the same person. Well, maybe sometimes the same person, but
would they ever do it?
No, nobody ever wrote shit down. I could have got away with it when I was doing Take Your Top Off, Girl.
Yeah.
I could have had people write shit down because people fucking love that shit. And I see those to this day, and I'm like, I was not good writing.
Huh.
I mean, and some of them were pretty funny, but not all of them. And I'm just like, that's what people liked. But I've always been surprised at what people respond to. I'd write something that I thought was fucking the funniest thing I'd ever written. Put that shit on Facebook or whatever, get 5 likes, and then I'd write something that I thought was fucking really mediocre. Kind of dumb and fucking holy shit.
Well, you better not be your own editor when we're writing, because
no, apparently not.
Speaking of which, I am really dying to getting back to writing.
Me too, God damn it.
And I feel it is this time of year where it's snowing and there's just so much shit that needs to be done before winter. But winter will be settling in soon, and then
winter is coming.
I can sit by the fire. Well, I'll have to come over and sit by your fire.
I need to find somebody to inspect my goddamn fireplace and make sure that thing's all safe. Or fireplace, I need to have somebody inspect both my chimneys. Yeah,
you only have one that has a fireplace on it, though.
Yes.
I think the other one is just your furnace. So I don't really think that. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, you probably should have somebody inspect both of them. But it's the fireplace one that you really want to inspect, because if you start a fire in your fireplace and it'll burn your fucking house down.
Yeah. No, he's had fire. Like the guy that we bought it from, he's like, yeah, we've had fires in there and stuff. I just want to make sure.
You just got to make sure. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that you could probably call Northland Fire would probably do it, or I don't know, can just Google fireplace inspection or whatever. They do make this chemical, you can get it at Menards. It's like a log, and you start a little fire in there, and you put this log in there, and it burns super hot and cleans out your chimney or whatever. I'm sure it's incredibly environmentally friendly.
Right. What does that sound? That's birds thudding into your roof.
But that doesn't take the place of an inspection. But it will clean out.
What's that sound? That's the ambulance coming for your neighbor kid. He was climbing a tree next door. He's not in the fucking tree anymore.
But it will clean out that crazy. But I'm not endorsing it, though I have used it. Yeah, crazy. But it's nice to get in the house. But I'm getting really excited about writing again.
Fuck yes.
And for those of you who don't know, everybody probably knows by now, but we're working on a shared world, apocalyptic shared world, post-apocalyptic shared world, and doing some writing on that. And speaking of that, you sent me a link the other day of a YouTube video of a guy 10 foods that last forever.
Yeah.
Pretty well done video.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, honestly, I like that guy's material. he's got. I just found that because I subscribed to his channel. Because there was one that he did like a top 10 list of things that, of things for people that are planning on bugging in long term. A list of things that people might neglect. Because it's not food. It's it's not rice. It's not beans. It's not ammo. One of them was ammo, but it was like reloading shit. And I liked his list, and I liked anything that because a lot of that shit is really, there's a lot of redundancy among those videos. There's a lot of the same shit you hear over and over and over. Anything so anything that's new, I really appreciate. That's why you have to kind of scour them to find anything new. And this guy kind of thinks for himself and puts his own shit out there and stuff, and a lot of it made sense, and I like it. But the video that I sent you was another one of his videos, and I was fucking blown away by it was just shoddy,
horrible,
and the audio was fucking horrible,
and it was like literally a fucking, it's not a slideshow, but what is that called? A PowerPoint. It was like a PowerPoint presentation, just garbage. And if you're not even gonna do a video, you're not even gonna show anything. You're just gonna do a PowerPoint presentation. The fucking least you can do is record some good audio for it. It was garbage, and he only has 209,000 views on it.
And I mean, just the quality of your audio. I get that not everybody out there is going to have these sexy voices that make love to your ear vaginas. But
they're ear pussies.
Ear pussies. And we're obviously pleasing to your ear pussies. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we're fucking, but the quality of his audio was fucking horrible, and I just and I'm like, motherfucker, really? And I'm like, how many videos, how many watches has this guy racked up?
Yeah. 209,000.
Yeah. On his way to $250,000, no big deal.
Well, and I think when we do get around to doing Progressive Preppers, which if you haven't heard, Kyle and I are going to be launching a additional podcast, not a new, but also additional. We're not going to stop spitballing for you. But it's going to be kind of a little bit of a short, well, it's definitely going to be shorter. We're going to limit it down to 15, 20 minutes. And they're kind of how-tos, anything from, 10 things you might have overlooked for, surviving the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
To some, I have a bunch of woods craft, survival craft kind of stuff that I am mostly interested in, and Kyle's got a bunch of storage stuff that he wants to talk about,
long-term food storage, and I'm sure we'll do a couple of we'll at some point we'll probably do top prepper firearm videos and stuff, and
I was thinking we could even have some guests on coming in the future. I know our friend of the show, Danny is willing. He's gotten really into making soap lately, and
yeah, that's right.
And I gotta say, his soap is fucking amazing. I bought some from him because I just wanted to support my buddy, and then I was like, "Oh, dude, this is the best soap I've ever fucking used. I need more soap."
Then you were watching Fight Club, and you were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Well, I hope he's making it out of fucking lady fat. Yeah. Yeah, Danny used to be big. I wonder if he used all that fat. No, I don't know. So I was just, and I actually have no idea how to make soap.
He's got me fucking set up like a veal cow. He's just fucking doing liposuction on me weekly.
Do you know what my the entirety of my soap making knowledge comes from Fight Club?
Oh yeah.
So I probably need.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I wish that every bit of all my knowledge I learned from Fight Club.
Yeah, basically, don't talk about shit. That's about it. That's the first rule. I know that.
But yeah, man, I am really, that's our projects. You gotta have projects. You gotta have stuff to look forward to. You gotta have plans. But yeah, I'm looking forward to writing, and man, I can't wait to fucking sink our teeth into some goddamn our own little prepper videos that aren't gonna blow anybody's mind, but will be of higher quality than a lot of the shit that you see out there.
Yeah.
And because half of them are fucking crazy too. You know, like
Well, yeah, and that's the whole idea is like if you want to, learn some things about maybe how to bug in or how to bug out or what to, how to prepare, and you don't want to subscribe to the QAnon conspiracy, like this might be the podcast for you.
yeah.
Because there is a definite like.
Well, and even a lot of the ones that are pretty like even a lot of them have like pretty decent shows.
Yeah, they just like spread a little of the Q on there for some spice, and it's like, dude,
These fucking guys, like it can be a perfectly normal show, and pretty soon, like they like they start talking about, they mention the government, then pretty soon, like you can see their fucking, you can see it in their eyes, and they're like fucking spitting and shit, and you're like, settle down, I mean, I like that shit when it's coming from Mike Starry, but not some weirdo on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, I'd like to have Mike back on at some point.
Fuck yeah.
For this or that, but
Mike would be in. Mike is also kind of into the preparedness lifestyle.
right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Talking about a little bit about that. Yeah.
Our fun and interesting friend that differs a lot from us politically, but is, like I said, fun and interesting. And
and I don't think he
he
doesn't differ that far from us. It's just he has that like that label of like what does he call himself, a small L libertarian, and that just tastes like libertarian. But when you actually boil it down, we don't line up that far apart. I actually really, really enjoyed his post the other day about what was it about? I can't remember what issue it was, but he was like, "Hey, my conservative friends, I want to remind you that the reason that I am totally opposed to whatever is going on in this particular issue, but we have to remember that started with Donald Trump." Oh, he was actually talking about vaccine mandates, which, hey, like we probably don't agree on vaccine mandates. Like I don't know where I'm pretty fuck it. I just hold them down and shoot it in. That's where I'm at. But and he is definitely on the other side.
Get your shot. Don't be a pussy.
Right. They should let us do like some PSAs.
And by that, I mean a kitten.
Yes. But he was
some PSAs.
He was talking about
Pussy service
vaccine mandates, and he was saying, basically this is fucking bullshit. But he's like, but let's trace it back to where this started. Like this is a policy that was started by Donald Trump and then has been carried through by Joe Biden. They're all fucking wrong. And I don't agree with him on the vaccine mandate part, but I really like that he's willing to like point to the source and not be like,
well, yeah. And that's why
that's what Mike's smart. Right.
Yeah.
That's the difference between like somebody who's like got an ideology and won't fucking like shift from it to somebody who's actually like evaluating, the pros and cons of things and trying to like figure out, what's the best thing. Yeah. Smart guy.
And not done with the cultist shit.
Yeah, the cultist shit. There's too much of that going on.
Mm-hmm.
So did you want to talk about the book series that we've been working on at all?
It was a good one, wasn't it? Did you finish that?
I'm done. Yeah, I just finished.
I just finished it yesterday. I always have to give myself a few days head start because Matt will catch up me. Matt will lap me if I don't fucking.
Well, I mean, I listen to a few podcasts and shit in between too. I am a voracious recorded books and podcast listener. But yeah, it's a good recommendation because it's free on Audible. So if you have an Audible membership, there's 4 books in the series, and I don't remember the author's name, but it's called Made by Hand.
Yeah, World Made by Hand.
World Made by Hand, and it's a pretty decent post-apocalyptic series.
It's not super violent.
It's not violent. Well, yeah, it's not super violent, and it's not, and it's a little bit hopeful, I thought.
Yeah. And it touches on such, like, it was so different from anything else that I've read in that vein. There were like a few similarities to a few other books, but not like, I enjoyed that, like, he was like an exec.
Yeah.
That, stuff started going to hell, and he was like, I like carpentry. I'm a carpenter.
Yeah,
now,
I used to do some carpentry.
And
I'll just fall back on that.
all the nightmarish shit that happened, he lost his whole family and stuff, and that thing that he said on there about staying busy, didn't have time to, didn't have very much time to like contemplate suicide because he was busy with carpentry.
Right. And like it's kind of like
James Howard Kunstler.
There you go.
Not to be confused with Kunstler. Kunstler. James Howard Kunstler. Yeah.
Yeah. World Made by Hand. I would definitely recommend it. Okay. So you ever know anybody who who's like gay? You ever met a gay guy? A gay
here
person?
And there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is not by no means always the case, but have you ever met anybody who is only gay? Like that's their entirety of their identity, and you can't have any conversation with them.
Yeah,
that
I think we've
isn't
talked about this
them
before.
Being gay,
their whole identity is their sexuality, and I don't give a fuck like what you do. Like if your whole identity is based around one thing, you're gonna fucking
you're just
suck.
You're just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I can't stand that, and I can't stand that if somebody is like a cop. And the entirety of their identity is about being a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking annoying.
Did you? I think the last time we talked about this, I was probably telling you about that gay porn star that I met a couple of years ago. I was at work, and he knew some of my friends and stuff, and I was like, God, you're so fucking annoying. I didn't like before he even like got near me. I was like, this guy is so fucking annoying because everything appeared to be just about him being gay. Like every joke, every fucking like everything was about him being gay. And I'm just like boring and tedious and fucking don't even fucking talk to me.
Right.
He makes his way around, he starts talking to me, and he's just a dude at that point. And I'm like, this guy's fucking like this guy picks up on fucking, like whatever. Like that works for those people and they're fun and it's all fucking they love it. They're eating that shit up. Meanwhile, like it's not a fucking big deal for me. I've got gay friends. I've got gay family. Like fucking whatever. Like it's not like that doesn't fucking, I don't give a fuck. And he like sensed that and fucking just talked to me like a regular dude for the first fucking time for the first time like in his whole night. All of a sudden he's just a normal dude.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I appreciate that. This guy's pretty cool. Like, fucking,
right. So, So, well, actually, I just want to say this about. I think did you post this on Facebook? But it was a thing about what do you call, or how do people feel about gay marriage in your area?
Yeah.
And some guy from Canada said, "Well, I'm from Canada.
We just call it marriage.
We just call it marriage. If it doesn't have anything to do with hockey, we just don't give a shit."
Right. We don't care what it's not hockey. We don't care we don't give a fuck if we don't care what team you're on.
Oh yeah, we don't care what team you're on.
If it's not hockey, we don't care what fucking team you're on.
So, that point. But my point about that is that I find that true in books too, right? So if you have a book that's about post-apocalyptic experience, and that's all they want to talk about is this situation and that gets fucking like tedious and boring and whatever. So this is a book about
these people
people
set against the backdrop of like we've talked about
exactly. So like
our favorite zombie show.
Oh, what? Walking Dead? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead. It's not about zombies. You know? I mean, zombies just provide you with background and fucking,
right. And they're not that terrifying. Like it's how you do. So so it has to be about the people. And I thought that they did a really nice job in this book, specifically. Going into the characters of the people and the situations, and and some of these situations are pretty apocalyptic,
specific. Yeah,
like
some are not.
Like the idea that their relationships have different change a little bit because it was very interesting, and I liked the way that they did it. And all the characters are not just all one-dimensional badass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Which I've read way too many books where that's the way it is, where it's just like, Okay, so everybody had tactical SEAL training. Is that the way
Yeah.
it is? Like, so you just innately knew how to clear a building? I mean, it's like none of you are gun idiots, you
Yeah.
know? And this part in that book is pretty interesting because people were like just normal people. What they really wanted to do was get together and play music, but the fucking apocalypse is getting in the way of it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. It wasn't the best series I've ever read, but it was definitely
good,
It was
yeah.
definitely worth it, and it's free again on Audible. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm always looking. I mean, again, I read and listen to just tons and tons of stuff.
Burn through so many damn credits. Every
And-
time when they throw us when they throw us a bone and we get like a free book.
That's decent. Yeah, it's like this is nice. This is very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, like that Cornwall book that that book Agincourt. I really appreciated that. Oh wait, that one
was
that
free?
wasn't the free one. The free one was the other Cornwall that I haven't read yet because
What are we talking about? There's a free Cornwall book out there.
yeah, but you've already read it.
Oh, of course. I think I've read every.
It's a Harlequin
Oh, that's such a good
because it's the
series.
first one in the Grail books.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So but it's because it's Cornwall and that fucker just sucks me in.
Oh, he's bad.
I'm like I've got to save up the right. I feel like I've got to save up the credits before I read this book because as soon as I finish that fucking book, I'm gonna need the next book.
I'm such a junkie for his stuff that like I'll order like if I'll just fucking buy them all. Like I know I'm gonna read them. Like you know you got like book 2. I'm like fuck it. I got 4 credits. I'm just gonna buy book 3, 4, 5, and 6 because I know I'm gonna fucking just burn through them.
Yep.
I don't want to have that moment in time where there isn't a book when the audio's not playing. I think I've read every single one of his on Audible or listened to every single one of his on Audible except for like 3 really short ones. There's like 3 really short ones out there that I'm like I'm not gonna pay a credit for 5 hours. Like it's
No.
just too much.
I was looking at some books, even a 5-hour book.
Yeah, that's just like
Remember the one that I told you about where they retreat to the not Cornwall. This was an apocalyptic book, kind of zombie-ish, where they retreat to the cabin. They're like the dad's cabin, and like next door they've got a campground and shit.
yeah, I
And
kind of
the books were
vaguely remember them.
okay, but they were just okay, and I was like, I'd read the rest of them. But that was an 8.5-hour book, which cool, whatever. I'll spend a credit on that. Actually, I think that one was free though. And then, but the next 2 were like 5 hours, and I'm like, 5 hours,
Yeah.
like the drive back and forth to the cities or something. Like,
So
fuck 5 hours. I'm not gonna spend a credit on
so
that.
it's like if you write a series of books and you have book 2 is 5 hours long and book 3 is 5 hours long, just have that be book 2.
Yeah,
Put that
that's
shit
one book,
together.
dumbass. That's 10, 11 hours. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing I like about like Cornwall. His books are usually like 13, 14 hours long and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're like one book is
And Cornwall
decent.
puts a shit pile of stuff out there for free on Audible. And I
Yeah,
don't,
most of the Sharps
I have
books
no,
are
I have no idea how that works. About on like whether the author does that or whatever. But yeah, most of the Sharp books are out there for free, and that's probably his most famous one.
Unfortunately,
But Agincourt.
Agincourt was great.
Loved it.
Yeah, loved it.
So if you don't know what Agincourt is, it's the story of Henry
Henry V.
Fifth.
Yeah.
And it's it's a pretty famous battle. Which
Hugely
is,
famous.
Which is
huge.
very like the actual history of it is kind of murky, but there are some certain things that are known. But I really like how Cornwall doesn't try to tell the story of Agincourt.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
tells the story of a guy who becomes an archer who fights at Agincourt. And I feel like I know more about that history than I ever would have by reading a history of Agincourt. Because I got to experience it through the eyes of the archer. Not like just fucking okay, and then the French did this, and then the British did that, and da 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 da. Very interesting. I really enjoyed the part in that book when the because the field was really muddy, and like there's because Henry V had a drastically smaller force than the French, right? And
it's
again historically, it's all over the place, but
it's definitely a smaller force. That differs from account to account, but I mean, we're talking at least like between like 3 to 6, or like 3 and 6 to 1.
Yeah.
So the margin was not close.
And it was kind of a classic example of being overconfident, or the tortoise and the hare kind of thing. And a lot of things were working against the French at the time. But one of them was the field that they picked to fight on, and it was a freshly plowed field, and it rained, and it ended up weighting down all of these knights.
It was the fall, so it had been plowed for winter wheat.
Yeah.
And it had been fucking raining, and it just turned the battlefield into fucking muck.
But I don't want to wreck anything, but one of the big advantages that the English had were the archers, the Welsh archers, and the what was it? Welsh, and what are the British archers? They're not British archers, but Welsh and maybe they are just British archers, but they were really the tide turner in this battle. And
the army was like 2/3 archers?
Yeah, which is super rare for that time period. And Agincourt is kind of the battle that is like held up in history as like proving that archery could definitively turn the tide of a major engagement. But the problem is it's all rainy and shit. And guess what doesn't do well in the rain is fucking bowstrings. So it's fucking rainy and mucky and shitty, and the French are like, okay, fuck it, their archers ain't gonna, and then the weather clears and the archers are able to do it. So it's very interesting, and I really enjoyed it. But I enjoyed the part where the fucking knights are all down, and a bunch of them are stuck with arrows, and some of them are just stuck in the mud, and then the archers have to go out and like kill them. And
then the pickaxe and stuff like that.
Pickaxes and weighted hammers and giant fucking axes. And actually, when I was reading that book, that's when I made that giant fucking axe, because that's what I made it like for. I'm ever going.
Well, they were talking about pickaxes, and I was like, well, there's my breaching weapon.
Right. Yeah.
Like fucking awesome.
And then also the little blades that are really long and thin. And they can get in, and they can it's almost like a fillet knife, so they can.
Oh, a stiletto, yeah.
Yeah, that's not what it's called though. It's not stiletto. It's different. I was talking to Tharg about it, and he told me what it was. And they mentioned it in the book, and I couldn't remember the name. It might be.
I don't remember.
But yeah, it's
because I don't remember them mentioning stilettos in the book. I just know that stilettos were good for like getting in between links of chainmail.
Yeah, no, this is a specific knife that's long. It's like a fillet knife. It's long, but it's super flexible, right? And they can wiggle it in and then get it up in there. It's disgusting. It's so gross. They're sitting there fucking murdering people. I mean, like, it's battle, but like there's something we in our modern sensibilities have changed, but the idea of like well, I mean, the guy's down in the mud.
Weighted down by a bunch of armor.
No, you just
he's fucking already wounded, probably.
Yeah, you got to go out there and stick the knife in him. Yeah. And hey, by the way, check his pocket. It's pretty crazy.
But if he's got nice enough shit, just take him hostage, because we can ransom him.
Yeah, if he's got nice enough shit, that's definitely true. Cool. Well, I got to take a pee, so let's take a break. But before we do, I'm going to introduce a new segment to the show. So this is something that we're going to try to do pretty consistently. Okay.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we talked about it the other day. So I know what I'm going to suggest, right? But Kyle doesn't know. So I've already prepared my list, but he only has the time between the time I go to the bathroom and back to come up with his list, and we'll see how he does. So what this is it's a game that we're going to call Mount Rushmore. So the idea is that Mount Rushmore has 4 faces on it, and you have to fill in who you'd put on Mount Rushmore if Mount Rushmore was whatever subject. So today, the Mount Rushmore is, and it's an easy one.
We're just getting started here.
Best actors of all time. No, you got to wait. You get to wait until we come back, and then they're going to find out what your list is and what my list is.
Okay.
And then next time we get together, Kyle will introduce Mount Rushmore, and then I'll be the one on the spot. Make sense? Roger that. We'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Spitballing. I'm Matt Taylor here with my good buddy
Kyle Amundsen.
And before the break, I was saying that we're going to do a little Mount Rushmore. It's going to be a new segment. So I was just going to tell quickly the story of how this happened. I was working at 9th Street. I think it was weekend before. And I went down to Yesterday's Gone to get a burger, great burgers. And so there was a group of people that I kind of peripherally knew from coming into the bar. And they were doing this. And I was having so much fun, and so I was spouting out mine and so on and so forth. And I thought, God, that would just be a great segment on spitballing. And so here we are. So, again, these are best 4 actors, or whatever 4 actors you would have carved into the face of Mount Rushmore. So, what do you got?
Well, I made my list kind of diverse. Well, I don't know if it's really good.
yeah, it's careful that you say that.
And number 1, Kevin Spacey.
Interesting. So I have thought a little bit about Kevin Spacey as one. Okay, interesting. So what makes you think, what puts him up there for you?
The range. He can play anything. I mean, now he doesn't play anything at all. But whatever. Despite being like canceled and all that shit, whatever. He got into some trouble. He fucked up. But I don't really know anything about that except that he got canceled and fucking whatever. He was creepy or whatever.
Oh yeah, a little creepy, but whatever.
But that doesn't take anything away from what a fucking amazing actor he was, because he could play a great villain. He could be funny. He could, I've enjoyed so many of his movies and been so impressed with so many of his performances. Like I told you about the old Wise Guy series back in the 80s. American Beauty, I thought was a fucking brilliant movie, and I loved his fucking, I loved him in that. And of course, Seven and shit like that. He's
really good in Seven.
Oh, he's been so good in so many things.
My introduction to him was The Usual Suspects, and I think I've said this before, but I guessed he was Kaiser Sose like 5 minutes into the movie, and it wrecked awesome. The movie for me because I think that's
too bad. That was a great movie.
Yeah, but if you ever try to rewatch it, it's not that fun to rewatch because you already know he's Kaiser Sose.
It's like watching The Sixth Sense or whatever. With like one of the Shyamalan movies with the surprise ending.
I fucking hate Shyamalan.
I liked a lot of his movies.
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
I'd say I like about half of his movies, and the other half I am fucking violently opposed to. Man, I went to fucking The Happening in the fucking theater. And I was so fucking mad. I walked out of there like, they should call it The Nothing Happening. Like, what the fuck was that all about? Give me my money back, you cocksucker. Oh, that fucking shit just pissed me off.
This is why I wanted to do this. Okay, so we'll take turns. So my first pick is Brad Pitt.
I thought about Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
How can you not? I thought Brad Pitt was this pretty face, and then I went and I a girl drug me, beautiful girl, drug me to Fight Club, and I was I'm going to a movie called Fight Club with Brad Pitt in it. She wound up hating the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time too. One of my favorite movies that he was ever in was called California. Do you remember that one?
Was that the one with the serial killer?
Yeah. He was a serial killer, and it had Mulder in it. I can't remember his name.
David Duchovny.
Yeah, David Duchovny. And basically, you just drive across the country with a fucking serial killer. But oh my god, Brad Pitt's character in that is so fucking scary, so scary. And that, and then True Romance. That's one of his greatest roles of all time.
Condescend me, man. I'll fucking kill you. Dude, the stoner roommate, that bit part in that fucking brilliant movie.
But yeah, just a great character.
God, and, so many amazing actors in that.
Yeah, that was movie. A great movie. Yep.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. Legends of the Fall is one of my all-time favorite movies. So, yeah, Brad Pitt up there. Carve that bitch in. And I'm even forgiving him for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So
I didn't mind that. I thought it was pretty good, actually. I thought you were going to say Mr. and Mrs. Smith or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, yeah.
But there was one that I hated with him and Julia Roberts. Something about a gun, and I don't know.
Oh.
But I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody makes a dumb movie now and again. Who cares?
Yeah. And especially when you're hugely popular and people are throwing crazy amounts of money at you to be in a shitty movie, and you're like, yeah, I'm getting paid, right? Yeah, I'll be in that shitty movie.
Yeah.
You can't make all your fucking choices artistic, you know? I mean,
Right. And I actually think Brad Pitt did a really, really good job in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The movie sucked. So, but he did a good job. I loved the scene with him and Bruce Lee. It was a cool scene. So, all right. Who are you going to carve into the fucking mountain next?
Michael Kane.
Michael Kane.
Yes.
Jesus.
Michael Caine's been in a lot of great stuff.
That is a very interesting choice.
I'm a big fan. I always have been. I think ever since I was young and I saw him and Sean Connery in The Man Who Would Be King.
God, I don't even remember that. I remember Michael Caine from a TV show. A pretty long time TV show. It was good. But not that. I don't even remember what it was now. But what other movies has he been in that he was great in?
Oh, shit. Let's see. What did I last see him in?
Man, when people drive all the way to South Dakota to look at your mountain, they're going to be like, who's that second guy up there? You're like,
I'm trying to think of
it's got to be Roosevelt.
I can't think of the goddamn. He was in an Equalizer type movie that I just watched not too long ago, and I don't think it was that old, but he is old as fuck now. What was the name of that fucking movie?
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not important. Anyway, yeah. He's star of TV, star of fucking
a lot of
movies.
TV shows.
But yeah, but I ever since I saw him in The Man Who Would Be King, I was like, that guy's amazing. But yeah, so Michael Caine is number 2 for me.
So that's like throwing Sean Bean up there. Just chuck him up.
Sean Bean. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. That is not my pick. My second pick is Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner gets a lot of shit about being a one-trick pony.
Yeah, which is
I
ridiculous.
totally don't believe in that.
Yeah, I think he's amazing.
He plays a good bad guy, and being a good bad guy is a big deal for me.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a good bad guy. And he was an amazing bad guy in the one where he was a serial killer. What the hell was that? Mr. Jones?
I don't remember.
I think it was Mr. Jones, though.
Though.
Yeah, super fucking creepy, like super meticulous bad guy.
And anybody that and I really liked him in The Untouchables. I liked him as Elliot Ness. And I've heard people say,
and he was kind of a bad guy in that one.
That one trick pony
because he was trying to
take
take away people's alcohol. What a dick!
Yeah,
definitely a bad
asshole. Guy. But he always plays the same character. He's always the same. Have you seen Silverado? Because fuck you.
Yeah, Silverado was great.
Silverado was a totally radical departure for him, and he was very believable as
radical
a fun
departure.
freewheeling.
That was one of his first movies too.
Yeah, but I mean, like that character is nothing
Plus,
like any of the characters that he played since then.
Seriously, guys, if you haven't seen Silverado, or even if you have seen it and haven't seen it in a while, you really just got to revisit that fucking thing because it holds up so well.
Absolutely,
but it's one of the best. It's one of the best westerns of all time.
Everybody loves Open Range. That's cool.
Open Range,
but to me, Silverado's better than Open Range.
Did people like Open Range?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't think it was very popular because I think Open Range is also an amazing Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah,
but it's boring as fuck. And
yeah, it's not. It's not an exciting shoot 'em up like fun.
Well,
it
has a great
Silverado's a romp
scene, but
even the music is great. The score in Silverado is fucking brilliant. Everything.
The opening scene, like when he fucking kicks the rifle and goes throwing through the air, it's just wonderful. But that was back in the day before there was no CGI special effects whatsoever.
Yeah.
So Kevin Costner plays a double gun slinging.
Yeah.
He's doing all that. He's doing all those gun tricks.
One of my favorite scenes is when he hides when they're looking for him in that bar and shit, and it's on the corner of that fucking. It's on the corner of that block that big saloon is. So the guys are leaving and they're they split up and they're each walking away, and he backs out the door.
Yeah.
Fucking damn, and then he kills him, and it's awesome.
Yeah. It's very good. And then when he gets arrested and he's in the jail, and because he's super ADD and he can't he's hanging upside down.
Sit still
he can't sit still.
Yeah.
He's like, how long are you gonna leave me in here?
And they're he fell off his horse.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what did you say? He fell off his horse?
So did you watch all of Yellowstone?
No, I'm only one season in. I got Christine to agree to finish watching the rest of that series with me.
Did she not like season 1?
You know, she wasn't impressed. Well, I wasn't fucking impressed. I was like, really? That's it? You know, like all the hype and shit.
Yeah.
But I hear that it gets better, so I'm.
Well, I think,
and I didn't hate it. I think
it's amazing. I don't remember whether I think I liked season 1. I remember not liking the first episode all that well, and going like, and then it took me a while to get into it. Also, I remember I was having a lot of issues with it because it didn't, I couldn't stream it. Because it was through Peacock, and I didn't have now I have a Roku and I can do it. But yeah, he's amazing in that. And now season, what is it, 4 or 3? I don't know. Season 3. Yeah, it must be season 3 is out. So, but yeah, he's great, absolutely great. So yeah, Kevin Costner.
Yeah, good call.
Chisel him in.
Good pick.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, we could probably okay, I can make that joke. Okay, I am gonna make that joke. He, he was like big in the whole getting the crazy horse statue like carved into the mountain up there. So it'd be, I was going to make some joke about it'd be completely appropriate to like chisel Kevin Costner's face in a mountain in South Dakota. Maybe not. There might be some protests.
So my next pick is Christian Bale.
Yeah, you let that one slip, and then I was thinking, well, okay, here's what I will say about Christian Bale. So you know how like you got a guy who can play, like he can, like if you ever watch a show where like it's like it's like somebody's duplicate, or like it's the same person plays 2 roles.
Yep.
And they're so far apart that you're like, you can't even believe it's the same actor. So that's what Christian Bale is for me in the Batman movies, because when he goes, "I'm Batman," and he talks like he's got shit in his mouth, and he has to go, "I don't even know who he is. I don't even think that's Christian Bale anymore. It's like a totally different character. Why does he sound a little bit like Donald Trump?"
They make him do that.
I was actually kidding. I think that's super fucking stupid. I can't stand that. It actually wrecked the Batman movies for me.
But they make every Batman do that.
No, nobody has ever been like, "Hey, hey, I'm Batman." No, I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
They make them all do that.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, Michael Keaton didn't do that.
Michael Keaton was like, "I'm Batman." No, seriously, I'm Batman.
He's like, "Hey guys, I'm Batman."
Michael Keaton is an honorable mention, by the way, because I think he might be one of the. He might deserve a spot up there.
Everybody likes Michael Keaton.
Oh my God, he's so good.
But Christian Bale, lots of range. Plays a good bad guy. I know he's a douchebag. Don't care.
I did like him in the one about the financial crisis. And I read the book, and I was like, God, why
were there
did I read
dragons
this
in
book?
it?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God, that was a good one. What was that one called? Ring of Fire. Rain of Fire.
Rain of Fire. Yeah.
Rain of Fire. Yeah, and had that was with the guy who talks like he's got shit in his mouth from the South. What's his name?
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. And Matthew McConaughey had the most badass fucking goatee in that movie.
Dude.
Like, it was just this. So I tried to fucking grow that goatee.
What's his name? I think what's his name in there too? Leonidas.
Could be. I don't remember who
I think
actor that is, but yeah, it's pretty. That was like one of the stupidest premises of any movie ever.
It was pretty dumb, but I really liked it.
But it was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matthew McConaughey was badass in that show.
Yeah. Dude, fuck yeah.
I actually have a lot more respect for him than I used to. I used to kind of think he was a garbage actor, but
he almost made my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it True Detective that made you think maybe he should be on it?
That's a good call. Although I think, seeing him play a bad guy, was it what the fuck was the one where he played the psycho? He was a killer. I don't
know.
Anyway, I don't know. I've seen him play a bunch of shit. He was great in Amistad, which is also one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
What?
Amistad? Oh fuck, dude, that movie is fucking amazing.
I don't even know what it is.
What? Seriously? You've never seen
No.
Amistad?
Amistad?
Oh, man.
I don't even I thought you were making words up.
No. About the slave ship and shit? Oh, man. Him and, what is the old guy's name? I'm drawing a blank.
I'm gonna have to write
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Him and Anthony Hopkins. The whole cast is, there's a lot of people that you recognize in there, but him and Anthony Hopkins, they're fucking great. But the actor whose name I cannot pronounce, the guy that plays the leader of the slaves, he kind of scene stealing motherfucker because he's fucking brilliant and he's amazing in there, and he's in a movie that you really like. It was that underground MMA movie. Was pretty fucking bad.
Never Back Down.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
So the guy, his coach.
The Brazilian dude.
I don't know. Is he black?
He's black, but he's Brazilian. Yep.
He is.
He's actually really, really good.
He is in that movie as well.
Really?
He plays. I can't remember his name.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'll check that out.
You need to see that.
So there's a movie out there that I've never seen, and that seems right up my alley.
Well, you're gonna fucking watch it, and then you're gonna call me up, and I'm gonna say, "You're welcome."
Huh. All right. There you go. But Matthew McConaughey is not who we're talking about.
No. Although Matthew McConaughey is fucking great, but Christian Bale is also great. I should have maybe I should have put Matthew McConaughey in that spot, but Bale is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. The only movie I can really remember liking him in is the movie about the financial crisis with Michael Scott, whatever his name is, who almost made my list, even though I can't remember his name. Okay, it's my turn. Who do I have? Oh, God, this was a tough one. But Ed Norton.
When you were talking about somebody that can play two roles in the same, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
That was what made me think. Ed Norton, his body of work is not that deep and long. I mean, he's been in a lot of movies, but not a shit pile of movies. But I was thinking about it, and it's I can't think of any movie he's ever been in that I didn't like. And he's
always great.
And man, from what was the one with him where he played the kid that was abused and had the split personalities?
Yeah, that's the one that made me think of that.
Bam. But from that to American History X. Primal Fear, yeah. American
with
History
Richard Gere,
X.
right? American History X. I didn't really love American History X.
It's so, but
he was good in there.
Great.
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
He was fucking great in Red Dragon. Man, he's fucking good. He's really good in
his role in Rounders was amazing. He was the Rounders, the poker movie. Yeah, he was the fuck up that I
never saw it.
Oh my God, it's a great movie. But yeah,
no, I just admitted to somebody the other day that I'd never seen Days of Thunder.
I never have either.
I don't like motorsports, so I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
And that was such a big movie.
Somebody tried to put at the bar. Somebody tried to put Tom Cruise on there, and I was like, "Poo, no way! Are you kidding me? Seriously?"
I mean, he's definitely an actor that I've enjoyed a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, right.
That's his only good role.
Oh man, no, he was in some good stuff.
I've never enjoyed any of it.
You didn't even like The Last Samurai?
Well, it wasn't. I didn't enjoy him in it.
He was in he was in the best high school football movie.
The one where he gets the finger.
All the Right Moves.
I think we talked about that before. How I saw that as a kid. That fucking part of the VHS tape was all, or beta tape was all fucking wore out. Okay.
But yeah, my next guy is Peter North.
Peter North.
Yeah.
Oh my God, porno guy, right?
Yeah, we're gonna call that actually Matthew McConaughey's spot because I should have put him in there. I'm
glad
that I
couldn't come up with a fourth one. You put Peter.
No,
North
I put
on
Peter.
There.
I just wanted to put Peter North in there because he's what he does is amazing, and nobody shoots loads like that. It's amazing.
I don't think I could pick him up out of a lineup unless he wasn't wearing pants.
Right? Yeah, that's why I was like, would we put his face on Mount Rushmore? Maybe we put that. Maybe we name a geyser after him.
Go more like.
Shit. But yeah, so So Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to give Matthew McConaughey that spot.
And I
'cause he's
think
great.
and actually, he is playing Peter North in the upcoming HBO series.
He should be.
He could be.
Good for him.
One thing about Matthew McConaughey that kind of drives me nuts, but it doesn't really drive me nuts, but like he has the same, like, you can always tell it's Matthew McConaughey,
Oh,
he's got that like
yeah.
shit in his mouth southern whatever. But
Have you seen The Lincoln Lawyer? Mm-mm. Really? Mm-mm. See, that's another gem that I would definitely recommend.
The Lincoln Lawyer?
The Lincoln Lawyer. I didn't think I was going to like it. He plays an attorney in there. But man, I'm telling you, it was like the greatest movie for him. It was good casting because the guy in this movie needs to be really fucking cool.
Huh.
And Matthew McConaughey is nothing if not really fucking cool.
Did you see Mud?
Yes.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
But
mean, to kind of a sensitive, like, yeah.
that, you know what Matthew McConaughey should be in? He needs to be in a couple of westerns. I think he's at that point in his career where he could
do a western.
Yeah,
they
especially
just
with that accent. and
They
shit.
don't hardly make any good ones anymore. But
No, they fucking don't. They make B westerns that suck, and I fucking watch them anyway if they're free on fucking Amazon or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, they don't really do much. I'm in the process of watching a Netflix put together a kind of a cheesy black western. It kind of has a Django vibe without the art. And it's got some good actors in it and stuff.
Like Jamie Foxx would have scratches the surface of some of the best ever.
He has been in some really fucking good
Well,
movies.
he is just an amazing actor. But I'm gonna reserve that until after Tyson comes out. Because Jamie Foxx is playing Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yes, and he's been preparing for this role for like 2 years, and he's getting fucking
He's probably
jacked.
Yeah, well, he goes pretty big anyway.
Well,
but
in Django, he was pretty jacked, but now he's getting.
he was fucking really
jacked.
cut and athletic in one of my favorite football movie. I think is Any Given Sunday, and he was great in there. Dude, Oliver Stone. Oliver North. Yeah. Anyway, Oliver Stone plays a lot of mind games and kind of fucks with some of his actors and shit.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
He
that.
kind of I've read that he was kind of behind the fight that LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx got into while they were filming. And he's like,
never even heard about it.
roll him, keep him rolling. And fucking so he got like the fight scene in there wasn't necessarily put on. Like those two went at each other. They were fucking
Really?
hating each other. Yeah.
Huh.
And LL is just big, and and they played teammates on there, and they fucking get into it at practice, and it's a good looking fight scene too. Like it's not like a well choreographed, like it looks like two guys just throwing down. And that fucking movie, like I would. If you get bored enough to watch that, I know you're not a football guy, but I don't think you necessarily have to be a football guy.
What's it called?
Any Given Sunday.
I think I have seen some of it. It's got it's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
I gave up. I think I watched half of it and was like, I fucking don't care.
It's quite good. It's time for another movie like that, but they don't really. Let's face it, they don't really make that many good movies anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean,
maybe
it needs to be.
sound like an old man
Maybe
when I
it
say
needs
that,
to
but-
be a series. Like that's the thing. It's like maybe they need to do it. I mean, Jesus Christ! Like Ted Lasso has like changed my view on sports series because I think I'm going to start watching soccer. So my last pick, and this one was a really tough one because there's so many other. You always get to that fourth, but I was really thinking about it. It's got to be Will Smith.
That's a pretty decent.
Because like Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, but Will Smith, man, when he did Ali,
He was good in Ali.
Oh,
He was
so
really fucking
good.
good in I Am Legend too.
I Am Legend, great in that. But he's also been the fucking French Prince of Bel-Air and
Yep.
Cops and Bright. If you haven't seen Bright, that's a gem.
Yep.
That's it's on
God,
Netflix.
It's so easy. Like, it's easy for him to fucking like. I feel like because we kind of grew up with him. I feel like it's easy for him to manipulate our heartstrings and shit like that in movies too.
Yeah.
You know, and just because we're like, I don't know, I feel like we're invested in this guy. I don't know. I really fucking like him.
I do too.
And I like his little videos and shit. Have you ever seen any of his videos that show up like on Facebook and stuff like that? Little clips of him just like talking about shit, talking about life and stuff.
I think I have. I think I have.
That motherfucker might be like the most well-liked man in America.
He's pretty goddamn well liked.
People love them some Will Smith. I do. You do.
Yeah.
We all fucking do. Who doesn't like Will Smith? Watch it, you motherfucker.
If you find somebody who's like, I hate Will Smith.
Right. What's your favorite movie? Requiem for a Dream.
Run! Though, if Will Smith was in Requiem for a Dream,
It'd be the feel-good movie of
well,
the
there'd
year.
be a lot more ass to ass. That's all I'm saying.
Oof.
Yeah. It's a tough one to like, because there's so many others that, you know, I think could go on there. And then you know, I'm like, oh, but yeah, I think that would be a fairly good Mount Rushmore. Interesting that we had no duplications.
No, that's true. That fucking pretty much doesn't happen.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought, oh, well, our list will be just exactly the same. No, I didn't know for sure, but
Well, see, one of the reasons I was happy to be able to slide Matthew McConaughey into that number 4 spot is because I was trying to think of whether I was like Matthew McConaughey or Brad Pitt. Who is the better actor? And I came down with Matthew McConaughey.
no fucking possibility.
Absolutely.
No, Brad Pitt is the Abe Lincoln of the fucking, or maybe the Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know. They're both pretty good. Actually, Teddy Roosevelt wasn't even a very good president. He's just a really awesome dude. I'd really like to hang out with him. But then he'd probably want to box me. Or no, he'd probably want to grapple me.
Then you'd have to kick his ass, and you'd be like, "Oh, Mr. President, you did really good."
Well, I've told you that story before, though, right?
Yeah.
That he would bring like professional boxers and shit to the White House and spar with them, and he would get fucking livid if they like held back. But he kept getting knocked out, and actually in his later years, definitely probably had CTE. Because he started to like make really irrational decisions and, you know, all that kind of shit. So, but that's still kind of cool. Like being the prez and being like,
Want to come over and fight? Want to come over and kick my ass?
and then like, I don't know, like, and this comes up a lot, but you know, like you can, anytime you're looking back at a historical figure like Teddy Roosevelt, you can be like, well, yeah, but he was a racist. But the country was a racist.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the thing, like, yeah, there's a lot of shit out there. You know, you can't like any white people.
Right.
I mean, if you're gonna go on those terms, like, who the fuck do you get to like then? You know, you can't like any of those people. You know, and especially when it comes to like holding like a society, you know, up against
Right.
it and shit, you know, like, well, that society was fucked up. Well, let me tell you how cool cavemen were.
But then you know, people like you know, like Genghis Khan gets like credit for like starting, you know, the modern like highway systems and all of this kind of stuff. Like, oh, like the world wouldn't even. He was like by far the biggest mass murderer of all time. Like he makes Hitler look like a nothing.
Yeah.
And by the way, a tidbit rapey. You know, he's a little rapey. You know, but he wasn't white, so.
Well, look at Gandhi.
Though he might have been a redhead.
Gandhi was racist as fuck and had a horrible temper.
Yeah.
You know,
and beat his wife and all that kind of shit.
Martin Luther King cheated on his wife. You know, like fucking nobody's perfect, man.
That one
drives
me nuts though, because who gives a flying fuck if he cheated on his wife? Like the FBI was all like trying to like find shit on him, and that's the best they could come up with. Like I mean, I'm not saying it's okay to cheat on your wife, but also like you're the CIA or the FBI, actually. It was the FBI. But you're the FBI. Like, you can't come up with any better dirt than that. Right. Like, that's all you got? Well, fuck it. We'll just have to have him killed. You know?
I have a dream that girl in that floral dress over here come over here and sit on my face.
I don't think you can do a impression of Martin Luther King.
I can't
anymore.
do any impressions.
No, I just don't think it's allowed. Actually, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad impression. I just don't think you can do it anymore. That's. I mean, unless you're wearing blackface, then it's okay.
Then I'd probably be okay. No, but like fucking, there's like nobody's fucking perfect, and if you dig deep enough, you're gonna find shit you don't like about anybody. You know, so like, and that's one of the things. You know, like the cancel culture shit, you know, like I think that shit is on its last leg. I think that shit's just about done. I think people are fucking tired of that shit.
You know, I think part of what is happening, why cancel culture is what it is because like we just lack actual struggle in our world anymore.
And it's made us pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
I've always
I think
thought
the
that
phrase is whiny pussies.
Yeah.
I think that's what it meant.
Our fixation with famous people, you know, is unhealthy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and
we just spent the last 45 minutes talking about famous people, but it is.
I mean, not us.
No,
you know, it's unhealthy for other people. But our fixation with fucking, you know, the shit that we have, like our fucking first world problems.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Like the shit that we fucking like amuse ourselves with and fucking worry about and all that bullshit. Like, we need some real fucking problems. You know, like, if the worst thing that's happened to you is you found out that fucking, you know, your fucking like favorite celebrity fucking like beat off in front of fucking like some intern or whatever. You know, if you're horrified by that, you should be chased by a lion.
Yes, I think part of like I think that's one of the biggest superpowers of jiu-jitsu actually is that it like introduces like real struggle, and it's not just jiu-jitsu, it could be anything, whether you run marathons or you lift weights or you do something that is difficult and hard and you have to kind of like the only way to get through it is to kind of gut it out and suffer through it. Like, I don't want to say it builds character, but it makes you a better human because you have to gut it out and go through it. And I think that we just and that's almost like a life hack, right? Because I shouldn't have to go and agree to allow somebody to try to choke my face off a couple times a week to be a better person, but I do. You know what I mean? Because
you should choose something.
Because I don't get chased by lions anymore, or
Yeah.
I don't have to. I don't have to whatever. And I was talking the other day about fasting with somebody, and I was like, I was trying to explain how it that there's these health benefits, but it's also like semi-spiritual. Like you have to like you're forcing yourself to suffer, and in that it's kind of a cathartic experience. And I think that's really true. I think that like we don't ever. I mean, when's the last time you skipped a meal? You know. Not you personally. I mean, obviously, it's been a while.
That's a loaded question.
But, you know, it's like, and yeah. So I think that's part of why.
I said loaded. Now I'm thinking about baked potatoes.
But I do think that's where cancel culture is coming from, is that we live in a basically such a fucking like pampered and safe society, right? Now, are there injustices? Do people get, yes, but in general, we live in this fucking pampered and completely safe society where we have a reasonable expectation to not get fucking murdered on our way to work.
And that's another thing. There are injustices. We are so short on bad things happening to us that we have to worry so much about other people's bad things.
Yeah.
That's just another reason that the shit sandwich that is fucking cancel culture.
I was listening to this podcast, and I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it because I'm not sure how much I understand it, but he was talking about what the kid who is being tried right now in Wisconsin, the kid that shot the and
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, and I want to look a little more into this before I get too far down that rabbit hole but it's very interesting. Again, it's by my buddy Daryl Cooper, Martyr Maid, and but he was talking about how the Black Lives Matter movement developed, and I mean this guy's fucking wicked smart, and he was talking about how how many of the main actors in the Black Lives Matter movement are not people from that demographic. They're not, not that there aren't people but the actual movers and shakers of that movement are people from outside that movement and how interesting and that changes the dynamic. And I don't know. I got to look more into what he was saying but I thought it was super interesting. But he was comparing it to like the Black Panther movement. He was comparing it to the Weather Underground. Is that what it's called?
The what underground?
The Weather Underground. I don't know. The ones that were bombing back in the 60s. Yeah, I think it's the Weather Underground or the Wet Underground, whatever. But anyway, comparing those movements and how, it's one thing when you have a movement that literally is ground up and another one that is top down. And yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm going to look more on that. Maybe we'll talk about that at some other point. I do think you guys should check that podcast out, though. I keep on fucking pimping that podcast.
I just found a podcast that, and I just stumbled across this because it was, because this guy commented on a friend's post on Facebook, and I was like, "Who is this idiot?" And then I'm like, "Oh man, his podcast kind of looks cool," but it's about like. I looked at this and I'm like, oh, he's like this has 40 views. Like, I'm going to check it out. And it looked pretty good, really.
What was it?
And it was, well, the particular episode that I checked out, it was on Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh.
And he had like a panel. And I don't know what service that he was using or whatever, but they were kind of lined up like Hollywood squares looking. And I was like, okay, like points for presentation and shit like that. And he selected his panel pretty fucking well too, because I was like kind of getting into their argument. And I was like, okay, I might check back in on this.
Yeah, it's a little current eventy for me to like I kind of like I mean what I mean by that is like I don't necessarily want to like jump into trying to understand that situation until it's over, right? Because
the trial is probably the worst place to do that, because the trial looks like kind of a sham. I mean,
yeah,
it looked like garbage. But I'm like, well, shit. What time is it? Right now, there's probably fucking buildings burning in Kenosha and shit. Because I'm pretty sure they fucking acquitted him and shit, but.
Yeah. Well, so you're interested in that too. Okay, let's put a pin in that because I want to talk a little more about that, but I want to understand it better because I honestly don't know shit about it. Like, I remember when it happened. I remember thinking, well, that's pretty fucked up. And then I haven't really thought about it until I listened to this podcast, and now I'm interested and I want to actually I want to get my teeth into the meat of it. So let's put a pin in that because I want to talk about that in the future. And then it'll be after the verdict and all that. So.
All right.
Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
I watched a couple of shows recently that I'd half-assed recommend Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah,
which
I haven't seen it, but
it's okay. It's kind of cute. It's also kind of stupid. Whatever. It wasn't what I hoped it would be because I used to love that comic book back in the day.
That was the criticism that I heard about it. I think it was Everett Churchill said if they'd have just called it something else, it would have been maybe worth watching. But because I liked the comic book character, it was just like you didn't even try, But I'm like, I never.
Ben Kingsley reprised his role as the Mandarin, or his role as not the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, which is the worst Iron Man movie. Ben Kingsley actually almost made my list.
He played Indian Guru.
Yeah.
What was his name?
What, in the Iron Man movie? He played the
No, Ben Kingsley was.
Oh, he played
Gandhi.
Gandhi, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben Kingsley's he's fucking great actor.
That's a guy who can really do a variety of things.
Yes.
I don't remember Iron Man 3 or 2 or any of them. Really.
And I don't know shit about the game that so I just on Netflix this showed up. It's animated. It's called Arcane. It's based on the League of Legends game, which I don't know anything about, which is good because it doesn't fucking I don't have any preconceived ideas, and I don't know shit about the world that this show takes place in. The animation is really fucking cool. It's not your standard shitty animation. and it's kind of what's it called? With the mechanical shit and magic, steampunk.
Oh, okay. Roger.
And it's but yeah,
Mechanical shit and magic. I'm glad you came up with steampunk, because I wouldn't have got that on that.
No, I thought that was pretty good. If you were going to describe steampunk, I think those words would go in there. But yeah, those were pretty good. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple of guests on the horizon.
Yeah, some people that we'd like to track down and hunt down and wrestle down and get them in here.
So yeah, and I'm sorry if we aren't putting out as much content as you would like us to, but fuck yourself.
Right.
We were talking about it the other day, because it was like we really need to do a podcast, and it's like, we don't really need to.
Yeah,
I just really want to.
Like, we were going to get together a couple of times, and we've been like, well,
shit's in the way.
This is going on. And shit,
and the last thing I want to do is hurry it. This is still like one of my favorite things in the world to do.
Fuck yeah.
But
we crack ourselves up. You can tell. It's fucking
time.
obvious.
Yeah. So if we're not putting out enough content for you, there's other podcasts. You'll find something. But hopefully,
or let us know that we're not putting out enough, and we'll do like supplementals, and we'll.
But hopefully we will be getting going on progressive preppers, because that's something I'm super interested in.
Yes.
Yeah. Rock on. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town. I woke up this morning feeling so good, I laid back down again. Throw your big leg over me, mama, I just might not feel this good again. My baby, oh my baby, I love the way she walks. When my girl gets sleepy, I love the way she baby talks. My work done got scarce, honey, all my work, it done got hard. I spent the whole day stealing chickens, mama, from the rich folks' yard. I got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. Now I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town. I wanna go on a picnic in the country, mama, and stay all day. I don't care if I don't do nothing, just while my time away. I got the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. I'm feeling so much better I could cakewalk into town.